through that handbook for the recently deceased. It says, live people ignore the strange and unusual. I myself am strange and unusual.
Hi guys. So the ladies just did a live a few hours ago. Of course, me not feeling well and slept all freaking day. Only caught the tail end of the live. Um I'm always a day late and a dollar short. Anyway, um I am doing a VR to the hashtag that the ladies did. It's gathered at the threshold. Magic and sisterhood. I forget the title. I'm gonna write it down. Um, talking about reflecting on this past year. This is one of the 3 hash end of the year tags I'm gonna do tonight. Hopefully, and get done. Um, so that I have it. You know, I'm working as I'm doing this one. I'm working on another one that I'm gonna do also. That I guess they did back in November, but what the heck? Just so that I have, have it done. So, and I will get the link to the live and the questions, and I'll post that in my description, all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm a bit of a mess. Sorry. So, anyway, what was my biggest lesson in 2025? Advocacy is not something for the light of heart. It comes with a lot of things people didn't tell me what to expect. So I went in unprepared for what I was going to be dealing with, although I've been doing it for a couple of years. It's just this last year. It's become a whole thing. And it's not been pretty. um, and there's a part of me that wishes that maybe I have a whole new set of trauma from doing that. And people, with it being social media, people feel like they can be honest and a little too honest. But anyway, getting a thicker skin. Number 2, what was the most rewarding thing that happened in 2025? The most rewarding. I got up off my butt and said, heck with it. And you just have to do things on your own. And if you sit around waiting on somebody else to help you out, especially being a disabled person, you're never going to get nothing accomplished. So, getting back to just getting up and doing it on my own, because you can't, people have good intentions when they're trying to help you out, but, so getting back to that and trying to gain some of my independence back, that's one thing. So that's rewarding. Question number 3. What achievements am I most proud of in 2025? What achievements am I most proud of? Learning how to better edit. Teaching myself how to be better at editing and taking on and like there's one video that I did, and that sucker took me 6 hours, and I did not. It was a short video, and I'll link it in the description. But that thing took me hours to do, and learning how to do like stop motion and making videos like move with AI and stuff. I don't do a lot of AI. Um, I do very, very minimal AI. Um, but that's something that I've kind of learned and taught myself to do. That's kind of something that, and getting back to photo editing, that's a really big achievement for me. Um, and getting myself reorganized and trying to prioritize things and getting things done that I'd like to get done, and learning to pat myself on the back when I get it accomplished. Um, Let me see, number 4. What is a major shift, evolution, expansion within my spiritual practice? I haven't been doing much magically, because I'm like limited. A lot of my stuff is still in storage. Um, so I've been doing more study than actually practicing magic. Um, because living where we're living, there's limitations on what I can and can't do. Um, so, um, getting back into that and figuring out other ways of doing my practice, which is something I'm going to start doing. But with the economy being what it's being, you really have to be, um, and really taking a stance when it comes to gatekeeping. um, I am really, when it comes, bullying and gatekeeping, and really like putting my foot down and being very vocal on that. Because especially like on the other platforms, not necessarily on YouTube, but TikTok, the bullying and the gatekeeping is really bad. And as I've said before, those terrible habits are starting to kind of worm their way over here as people start to come over here to do content. So that's one thing. Um, that I am, that's one thing I've really expanded on, and being more honest. I was talking to Miss Kulala a couple months back about a video, and although just because you can doesn't mean you should when it comes to your opinions, you know, um, basically, um, yeah, sorry. Sorry. Hey. I can't like stop just to get Louis. Sorry about that. Stop. Um. So really taking more of a proactive stance when it comes to bullying and gatekeeping, especially on platforms, is something that, I think is a spiritual shift. Reconnecting with deities, um, is another thing. So let me see what the kids need real quick. Okay, sorry about that. I was being summoned. Um, Being kinder to myself when I don't get things done that I'd like to get done. But yeah, bullying and being more proactive when it comes to bullying and gatekeeping, um, especially when it comes to spirituality. Um, learning to kind of, just because you can doesn't, because there's sometimes you just, the best thing you can do is just not say anything, because it's not going to help the situation. Um, so um, that's something that I've been, kind of working on. Um, so probably didn't quite word the question right, but I paraphrased. So sorry about that. So, what favorite what favorite witchy tool did you acquire in 2025? Um, I don't have them on me, but I will show pictures, because I did recently use them in a reading with witches. I did win a pair of witches runes this year, and they kids went to like some kind of oddity convention or something. Um, and they got me a pair of runes. Um, and they're in my room, and I'm not going to get up to go get them because I'm in the living room. Um, but I will show some pictures. Um, you know what? Because I'll forget. I'll forget. So these are small, but because my space in my room is limited, um, I did want to get deity statues for Christmas, so I got smaller ones. Um, and I'm going to have to. Don't come for me, because I know that you're not supposed to have deities share, you know, altars when it comes to one of the deities. But like I said, my space is limited, so uh, my statues have to be a bit small. Um, I did not have a Hecate statue, so if you guys remember, I did the angel. I have another angel. To me, she comes with wings. I want to find um, another angel similar so that I can do one for Santa Muerte also. And I'm going to do some other things because, but I only had the angel statue for her, for Hecate, because if you know about what happened the day that Roe v. Wade was overturned with crows, and I know she works with crows, and she also has a lot to do with childbirth, so it's how she appeared to me at the time. So don't, you know, but, and I didn't have any statues of her, and like the big ones are like expensive anyway. Um, I may save up money and get another one. Um, but this is the Hecate statue that I got. They're not really all that big, but at least it's a representation of the deity. And she's gonna have to share an altar because, like I said, my space is limited. I have other statues, but they're in storage. They accidentally got put in storage. And I thought we could go back and get them, but we didn't get the opportunity. Um, Now she's not loaded because she's, you know, getting Santa Muerte when you live in the Midwest is not an easy feat. I was lucky and was able to get two really big statues of her. And then, you can only like get like smaller statues. So, but I can't load her or anything. So, I've got to do what's within my means. So those were two tools that I got this year. Um, well, technically, it's still 2025 because I got them for Christmas. So those are two things that I got. Not a tool, but it's cool as heck. um, a wicked tumbler. My mom got me a one that said 100% witch, and I got a skull one. Not exactly witchy tools, but I like them. Um, and I won these. Um, I so because of my side issues and stuff, I made a pair, but I did win these, and I've used them in some videos. But these are the witch's runes, and they do come like with a little book and all that kind of stuff. So that's one thing that I won this year that I was like really excited about. Of course, my mom got me the bag for these. But the kids got me these. Danny?
Yeah.
What convention did you guys go to and get these runes at?
Oddities Expo.
Oddities Expo?
World's Oddities Expo.
World Oddity Expo. But I don't know what stones these are. So somebody help me out, because I mean, I know they're not citrine, but and these are a lot easier for me. That's why Danny got them, because somebody can help me out with what crystal this is, because I'm having a brain fart. There's Aiden. Sir, um, he's wanting attention, but these are a lot bigger. So these didn't get my runes either. I have like an amethyst set and another set. Um, but these are a lot bigger and they're a lot easier for me to use. So that was another great tool that I got this year. And I got a mirror box. If you mirrors are really good to utilize within your practice. So I got this at Dollar Tree. Because of course my mirror box and stuff. I might get another one for manifestation. I had my boxes made and my prayer boxes and stuff. I thought this was bigger, but because I'm gonna set up, I have everything kind of in a travel altar. So I had to get things that were smaller. Mini cauldron, mini chalice, because, oops, I have everything in this big box that my mom got me last year. And then finally I got an altar bell. So I can have an altar again. So that'll be that'll be great. And very helpful, because since we've moved here and I've not been able to do things, I've just not felt quite myself. So what is the transformation experience, the most transformative experience in 2025 that I will carry into 2026? Not being nice. Not being nice. And I tell them all the time, because I'm on for people, like, I'm not the one. I am so not the one that if the kids can't bury me, I want them to put it on my gravestone, because I have no tolerance for bullshit anymore, and I'm just gonna tell you, if you push me too far, a lot of the thinner skinned people don't like that very much, but you know, it is what it is. I try really hard to have empathy for people, but sometimes you just gotta just come out and say it. Number 7, favorite deck of the year. Well, of course, you guys know my Witch's Tarot and the horror movie Oracle are like my two favorite. But I guess technically, and I'll talk about them in a video here I'm going to do here in a bit, because I did get decks for Christmas. And I'm going to use one of the decks that I got for Christmas, because I got 3 tarot decks for Christmas. So because this one was like the Apocalypsis Tarot, this was the deck that I was just most excited about to get. That and the Halloween Oracle and the Vintage Wisdom, and then the Realm. I can't remember the name of it. It's over here, but I'm not going to get up to go get it. I'm going to talk about it in another video, because those 3 decks, I have waited years to get those 3 Oracle decks, and I finally have them. So those were also my decks of the year. But yeah, this has a lot of different pantheons and stuff in it. It covers Greek and Norse and all of that kind of stuff. I'm going to be using it here in a video here in a bit. But yeah, this is probably like one of the decks, my favorite decks that I got this year. So, yeah. So, number 8, what was your favorite book or movie? Um, so, favorite book that I listened to, I didn't read, um, was probably the I Am Ozzy, um, and he narrated the book. That was probably one of my favorite books, and I listened to the whole thing. That was probably that, and Tommy DeBarge book where the lady read it aloud. Um, that was probably those are my two favorite books that I did this year. Um, favorite the 1923, and I think it's the 1889. Um, those two and South Park this year. Um, for obvious reasons. So much so that hopefully uh, uh, Wednesday I can go get my Respect My Authorital t-shirt. For obvious reasons. That was probably one of my favorite movies. And watching the last season of Handmaid's Tale. I got to watch that. So that was a really good uh, movie. I rewatched. It's one called Us. It's about doppelgangers. Um, that movie is kind of weird. Um, wasn't a bad movie. It's just like a weird movie. I mean, I've rewatched a lot of like older movies, like Roadhouse and Blade and all of that when Mom was here in town. That I haven't seen in years. So um, that was another thing that we did. Personal numerology. I don't know. Me and numbers just doesn't. But 319 has been popping up like I picked up my phone and it's always been at 319. But Prince also had a song called 319, and I've been listening. That's another thing I've been like listening to a lot. A few more like Prince related podcasts in the last few months. Um, because one of his former band members is one of the co-hosts, so that's something that I've been doing and like kind of listening to. Funkatopia, if you're into Prince, you know. Um, what truth have you carried? Oh, oops, that is the wrong question. Duh. That's for the other video. Let's see. The favorite community event of 2025. Um, aside from doing the Witches Black Lent this last year, that was a really good community event. Doing a lot of the monthly events with some of the ladies. The Divine Feminine one was really informative. Um, this last uh, year, that was one that was just really um, a thing that I learned a lot from. I've tried to do a lot of the like monthly community things and then get all discombobulated and all of that. I'm going to do the VR with the Wild Witch here pretty soon and do a few of those things. Um, so um, that's gonna be another thing that I'm kind of really looking forward to. So that way it's still a 2026 thing. So yeah, that's my community event. So I got a kitchen to go clean and go get some stuff done. So Anyway, guys, peace, love, and light, and we'll see you in the next video.